Do you mind if I join you?
Yes, sure.
So you're interested in Philippine history?
Yes, I actually am.
Me too. Actually, I know a lot of things about our history and our culture.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you want to know more about our history and our culture?
Yes, I want to know more about it.
The culture of the Philippines is a blend of indigenous traditions and external influences, reflecting its long and diverse history. Some of the Filipino cultures are: Number 1. Family-oriented. Family is at the core of Filipino life. Extended families are common, and respect for elders is a strong value. Family events and gatherings play a major role in social life. However, nuclear families are now practiced due to urban migration, and many families are separated by overseas work, but still extended family is the most common. Number 2. Religious influence. The Philippines is predominantly Catholic, a legacy of Spanish colonization that lasted over 300 years. Religious celebrations like Simbang Gabi, a Christmas novena, and Holy Week processions are widely practiced. In addition, other religious groups including Islam in southern areas and various Christian denominations also contribute to the country's religious landscape. The Philippines remains largely Catholic, but there is more religious diversity and openness to other beliefs, including Islam and indigenous faiths. Number 3. Hospitality. Filipinos are renowned for their warmth and hospitality, particularly toward guests and visitors. They frequently make special efforts to ensure others feel welcome and at ease.
Cuisine. Filipino food reflects a mix of Malay, Chinese, Spanish, and American influence. Popular dishes include adobo. Adobo is one of the most iconic and beloved dishes in Filipino cuisine, with each family offering its own version of the recipe. Adobo is deeply embedded in Filipino culture and is often regarded as a comfort food. Sinigang. Sinigang is a well-loved Filipino soup, recognized for its savory taste. It is typically prepared with pork, shrimp, or fish. The soup is traditionally soured with tamarind through other souring agents like calamansi. Sinigang embodies the Filipino preference for bold, flavorful dishes. Lechon is the main celebrated dish in Filipino cuisine in every big celebrations, featuring a whole pig roasted over charcoal until the skin turns crispy and golden. It is often the highlight of special occasions like birthdays, weddings, and holidays.
Festivals or fiestas are celebrated throughout the country in honor of patron saints or local historical events. Some famous ones include Sinulog in Cebu. The Sinulog Santo Niño Festival, as known as Sinug and Sulog, is an annual cultural and religious festival held on the third Sunday of January in Cebu, with the center of the activities being in Cebu City, and is the center of the Santo Niño Christian celebrations in the Philippines. The festival is considered to be the biggest festival in the Philippines, with every celebration of the festival routinely attracting between 1 million and 1.5 million people each year.
Oh, it's almost 12 noon. Sorry, I have to go. Thank you and nice meeting you.
Saiza.
See you next time.
Oh sir, where am I? Where are you? We're in Tondo, Manila, Toy. Why is everything so nostalgic? Look here. What country are you came from? Are you Spanish? No. Anyways, Do you want to know about our old Filipino culture before your bloodline has came in our country?
Yes.
Come, here's it.
Before Spanish colonization, the Philippines was a collective of diverse communities with distinct cultures. The basic political unit was the barangay, a small self-sufficient community usually composed of 30 to 100 families. It was headed by a dato, who exercised authority over his followers, administered justice, and led in times of war. Political authority was largely hereditary, but leadership could also be based on bravery, wealth, or wisdom. The dato's rule was supported by a council of leaders, but the barangay were largely autonomous, with no central authority governing the archipelago as a whole. Society was hierarchical, but nobles, freemen, and slaves forming in different social classes. Trade with neighboring regions such as China, India, and Malay Archipelago influenced early Philippine culture, including its religion, language, and art. Filipino society was highly diverse, with each ethnic group developing its own distinct tradition, language, and spiritual practice. Animism was widely practiced, with indigenous communities worshipping nature, spirit, and ancestral deities.
That's all, Toy. I hope you learned a lot about our culture.
You look funny. Where did you come from?
I'm from the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah. What are they wearing?
During the Spanish colonization, the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 marked the beginning of Spanish colonization, though full control wasn't established until 1565 under Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. The Spanish ruled the Philippines for over 300 years, and during this time, political power was predominantly concentrated among the elite, and opportunities for voting rights and public participation were severely restricted. Political power was largely held by a small group of mestizos, people of mixed Spanish and indigenous ancestry, Spanish officials, and wealthy landowners. Women in the Philippines had no formal political rights under Spanish rule. Voting was restricted to a small segment of the female population, primarily the elite and educated classes, excluding women from participation in the electoral process.
How about you come with us so you will see our culture?
Yes, sure.
What is this?
They're doing a harana.
What's that?
During the Spanish colonial era in the Philippines, traditional musical forms like kundiman and harana played significant roles in cultural expression and social interaction. Kundiman is a traditional Filipino love song characterized by its lyrical and melodic structure. It often expressed deep emotional themes such as love, longing, and heartbreak. Harana is traditional Filipino practice of serenading typically performed by a man to express his affection for a woman. During the Spanish colonization of the Philippines, education was predominantly available to the elite and the children of wealthy families, while the majority of the population, particularly the poor and indigenous people, had little to no access to formal education. Received informal education through community teaching and practical skills passed to down generations. Traditional gender roles were clearly defined and largely influenced by Spanish customs and the teaching of the Catholic Church. Women are expected to bear children and maintain the family home, while men were responsible for providing the family and making decisions regarding finances and property.
What year is this? 1778. Why?